Joining me now is Tracy Tully, who is a former principal. Tracy, really appreciate you joining me. Thank you for joining me. Look, the classroom obviously should feel like a safe space for students and for teachers. How have we allowed this to get so out of control?
Exactly. A calm, quiet classroom is a foundation of all good learning, and we've let it get out of control because the governments of the day for decades have chosen to ignore what's happening. Now, for decades, the Australian Catholic University and Deakin University have provided the most explicit results and data about what's happening in our schools from the principals' surveys, their wellbeing surveys. We have the Senate committee's reports and findings showing us the same. But what is happening is that we have now become a nursery for delinquents, and there's no going back unless we do something immediately.
So just to pick you up on that, a nursery for delinquents, what's causing this? Where has that come from?
Powerful words, I know. Well, the fact is there's lack of action, and all we hear all the time is that it's up to the teachers to fix. The teachers have to do this. The teachers have to do this. So it's a pile-on for teachers. No, the teachers do not need to do these things. They need to teach. So we're not listening to what the teachers are saying. No one is listening. In fact, the opposite. They're muzzling teachers so they can't speak. You know, here in Queensland, they're telling teachers they have to remove their complaints and their reports on our platforms called One School. Now, you do that to disrupt data, to smudge the data so it doesn't get out.
Well, I mean, what's the solution here? That there are calls for limits in classrooms by way of technology. I would argue that actually impacts learning. My question is, what about the home life? Okay, we talk about governments and schools here, but doesn't it start at the home environment? What are parents doing? What are parents teaching their kids? What principles and values are they instilling in them? That way they go to school and actually are safe to be around.
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head. It is primarily the parents' responsibility right from the get-go. And if we, like I used to do in all my schools, we ensure that every single parent and every single student signs an enrolment contract to say that they will uphold the school's behaviour management policies and consequences. Until we do that as a nation, nothing's going to change until we start educating our parents. And this is not just the tell the teachers to do this, or we'll just have a little session afternoon. No, we have to have something that's led by the federal government, and they're serious. So we need to have courses for people who don't work. We need to have courses that happen in the school holidays, both for parents and students. We need to do something seriously about our education. It's going down the drain.